was here for yes, I'm a show counselor time with counselor D.Y. Donkoh, marital and relationship solutions. Come home now, counselor, Papa.
Hello.
Papa, and marital relationship solutions, and your no. Mama Quenya stories I'm for the abandoned matome was making
Let's go.
Right. I was here for we're reading 3 stories for tonight. I'll say Auntie Valerie, please I bring you greetings and I would want a counselor to help me with this issue just so my house would be at peace. My mother-in-law is insisting that I get a house help. I told her as a professional woman and a corporate woman, I wouldn't need that because my husband is understanding such that we do things that works for both of us beautifully. My first child is 3 and I am heavy with another. Auntie Valerie, my mother-in-law is insisting that this young girl who lives in their hometown somewhere should come and live with us just so she could help me. I have said time and again that I do not need any help. My husband is looking at things in a different angle and saying that it's also an avenue to help this young girl and most importantly, give back to society, especially when we should make her life better. I have heard stories of helps and how dangerous somebody you do not know, somebody you are not related to, comes to live in your household. How do I talk my husband and my mother-in-law out of this situation? It is getting frustrating and annoying, especially when they make it look like I am not enough or competent enough to take care of my home. Counselor, please help me.
Oba oye adwuma denden and adwumayefo owokunu. And then the husband's mother steps in and say per house girl to support the family.
Right.
And so now she's burdened.
Right.
It looks as if manya dia amase beka se sabi mimuade.
Right.
Nti akoye say sabi ono so I worried. Now she doesn't know what to do. Let me give her the best advice.
Okay.
Number 1, the decision is marriage to the married. It does not come from the in-laws. It must come from both parties, those who are married or those who are in the marriage. They are the ones to make the decision, especially the man who happens to be the head. If the man, is sabi, he is in his right senses.
Right.
He's able to think. He's able to talk. He's able to act. He's able to do things well. Sabi. The man makes the final decision. Nevertheless, because they are couples, they make decisions together. So number 1, it would be wrong for an in-law to come in and suggest and say that Konakofa house girl because we're my doors and I'm bre. Anyway, the in-law can suggest and say, Ajwa, Masi, I say I will bread do. We are Juma was so and so, Okano past 6, Obana ju 12, before say bre. Tina me can't chile me back wamana, a ukunu. Crass say, Goma wukwain, Nafa house girl. Tehona, a man, a yarn, if you have because, oh, ma, me okay. We need problem. You just have to shut up. Because the decision should not be from you. It should be from your son, who happens to be the husband with the wife. If you're in your modia, if you're in your dia, come on now, but bear and tell one chain and I sabi. Because I want to shoot to me, and then you have the right to control your son. Numpo, in fear be doom pen so be you can't control your son anymore. Yeah, you can make suggestions, you can make rules and pass laws. And say, when I say you must obey, age be what would do, you crack while I say, it is our age and we're free. Now, what you mean about what they are, Jawadi and Mawam. So that both will make decisions and decide whether Omo per house girl or not, or you suggested, but it's not working. Please, I still be yiding. Now, if you're on Tibia, and our Bawa, or Bedin. Ya nuama wanuedi wo bibi kan ebetumi aye futu ana adwenkyere na emo mu se chinchina achi ye pe house girl e wa mra wo ba be ma wo no they decide. I think that it will be wrong. So I want to encourage the married woman that please reason with your husband, not your in-law. Then so say, in-law are very close, like almost a rapport, that connection, almost they click together. The free send them still it comes back to subjection. Say can be beginning say back of fat there and shaswadodo. To mesere will be our wadi be or him be say when it comes to decisions in marriage, it has to do with the man and the woman, especially the man. It has nothing to do with the in-law. The only access, the opportunity that can be given to an in-law is to suggest. Thank you. The
only access is to suggest, send a counselor, talking your husband and your mother-in-law out of it, no. Naturally said the decision rests with Onini Kunu. And that's the woman is a third party.
Yes, please.
It's the omumi no bed dream who ombe your margin so mobe no and no ombe decide so ombe. And naturally said counselor futu what the amount no medofo na also wetimi etu for pepepe. Let us read the next story na yefa entoa so pepepe. Was it Auntie Valerie, please? I know I am not supposed to be talking about this, but I need help reasoning. I have asked that counselor helps me out. Please, I'm in love with my pastor. Eventually, things were not the way I was looking at up until I looked at him and I realized, no, I had feelings for him. Now, the only problem is he sees me as a spiritual daughter, and this man is not married. So that means there is vacancy. I want counselor to help me. How do I go about this situation so that I fit the mother of the church role? Not to pretend or act in any weird way or manner, but I believe that he would be the best person to lead me and be father of my children, most especially my spiritual life. Counselor, please help me. I wouldn't want this particular situation to move me out of the church because I am there to serve God and not the man. Counselor.
All right, so not all feelings are love. Not all feelings are love. The fact that you have a feeling towards somebody emotionally does not mean you have love for them.
Right.
Shouldn't mistake. In your thinking, man, you think, say, because of a thinking woman, you are getting it wrong.
Right.
Number two, what attracted you to make you feel that you love him? Is it his charisma? His way of doing things, passionate towards the things of God?
Right.
Is it about the way he preaches? Is it about his stature?
Right.
Is it about the way he dresses? What is it? If what is attracting you has to do with what is on the outward, check it. That feeling is not love. Probably it's lust or infatuation. Nevertheless, if we are to conclude and see that you are in love, how well do you know a pastor? To be a pastor is a calling. To be a pastor is not a character. And so the fact that somebody becomes a pastor doesn't mean he has the right character. And so, because to grow to become like Christ is a process. It's not just a call.
Right.
It is soon in the by winning the same. Men shower friend, and they send your jumpy, kind of broth, and I see God coming through for you.
Hey.
Somebody shout, yeah. The other day, the Bible, no. You don't look at all this.
Yeah.
No. And that is why a lot of people were attracted by talent, and they ended up very disappointed and realized that talent can be separated from character.
True.
So don't allow gifts to attract you.
Don't allow gifts to attract you.
When you don't know the person you are going to deal with. Because gifts is not the same as the person you're going to be married to.
Wow.
Now let's shift and see, oh, you're single. So it's not a sin for you to have a feeling towards the man do. Nevertheless, understand that even though you have a feeling towards him, you are not the one to marry the man. The man is the one to marry you.
Okay.
You have a feeling towards him. Does he also has that feeling towards you?
To you?
Question mark. If it is no, I'm sorry you can't force him. Now, don't forget that once you are single, you can keep meeting other men who are single.
Right.
You're going to have a feeling towards them because there might be something unique about them that you think you like.
Okay.
All right? So then we are saying that the feeling towards the man might not be a sin, but she must be careful how she channels her feeling.
Okay.
So that it will not be lust, infatuation, or it will not lead her to do something else. Now she's saying that she wants to serve God, and she came to the church to actually serve God. Or by one way or the other, or by person from awesome.
Right.
And I will finish so I bet don't or by any day. If you think say how find somebody to talk to the person.
Right.
A mature woman you can trust. Trust. Now, they said, Mommy, I think that when you feel a mouse of be, and then probably a good mother who has been married for years or through experiences can actually advise you and say, be careful. Okay, fine. Oh, fail a man on any intimacy saying, because already the pastor is not even your friend. You are just a flawed normal church member. And now you have developed, and it happens in a lot of churches, and now you have developed a feeling towards the man, and the man is standing very far from you and doesn't even see you have a feeling towards him.
Right.
It is not a sin that open awesome, but please try and seek for advice from an elderly person or somebody who is wiser than you, I will say, or smarter than you, I will say, or very mature than you. Let them help you out, and then see how you can rather, channel that energy of the feeling you have towards the man, and then you can move on. And also take your time and pray.
Right.
If you are really connected or directed to the man. If not, the fact that you are going to be married to a pastor doesn't mean that your marriage must work. Because remember that pastors are also human.
Right.
Ono so ba won nenso so esan so onye nyame wi pacho ti yanti asese sister atinka de obenya na so hwa atinka de na busa won say am I trustworthy? Can I be trusted with the life of this pastor? Can I go far with him? How well do I know him? Am I going to marry a gift or a person? If you're able to distinguish and you're able to separate him from his gift and talent and the call, then you will understand what you're going to marry. Thank you. This
is a deep one. Into your hima, senior counselor can try as much as possible to distinguish between the gift and the person. Na watimi etu for pepepe na oho entimi anchro senior counselor kano. Let's read the final story for tonight. Says Auntie Valerie, I dated my girlfriend way back in the university. She was somebody who was very much interested in acting. Now I didn't really have much problem with it because I felt it was an extracurricular something that she loved doing in attachment to her actual course. Now, after we were done with school, she got a job. I also got a job. I even completed before her. Now, I want to settle down with her, and this lady is talking about getting into acting. Before I realized, she was at a location, putting together a piece that I have no idea about. I know I do not have permission over her or do not have full, total authority over her. But my thing is, I wouldn't want another man touching my woman. How much more having to see it physically live, especially if it is supposed to be broadcast. And it wouldn't be just me, but every other person. I have told her that this thing she's getting herself into is something that I do not want. She's told me that that is her passion and that she would want to continue and that I should look at the brighter side of things, the fact that she can become big and eventually every other thing with regards to finances is going to be better for our family if we are together. Auntie Valerie, I've heard stories, seen things, and I don't want to put myself in that situation. I want to ask counselor, is it right that I stand on this ground to tell her that I am breaking up with her because of her choice? And I wouldn't be able to stay with that choice. Reason I am quitting. Counselor, how do I talk her out of it, if possible, so we can get married?
All right, so communication has not gone deeper.
Right.
Between both.
Okay.
Beman and Wabano. All right, so Meshiao, right.
Right.
Eventually, me who say when you swadi who say you want to be an actress. Not just say you want to go into the movie industry.
Right.
And I maybe man I maybe and I think I'm not comfortable with obi child pons. Yeah, tell me omo markewa. You know, is that word? When they want to mark you.
Mark you.
Yeah. To be on phone kakra.
Yeah.
They be on the microphone now. Makeup artist no so yeah bema.
Right.
Obey and yoma. To the big crown so yeah be in Brazil.
On set na dia no kra na ha.
Maybe by set in yes dress so and better men try. My acting kakra so I know what I'm saying.
Right.
Be on so the only be you know scene no.
Right.
Depending on which some connection be. Some be romantic like as okay see was all my peg. So I'm better than camera no I be a romantic but I'm personal we do theater no so na bonkobo e bo abehye night we behye you know some short crazy me a bema before say me too jealous. I cannot handle that aspect of her. And that is her dream. How well can we talk about it and balance it?
Okay.
You can still be acting the movie and then escape some part of it.
Okay.
In other words, section be at the mouth. Play be near the mouth. Me kumpe kisses.
Right.
Me kumpe me night, you know. But I can do this. And if you think that is where you can act right, fine. If you think you still love him very well as a woman, and then the man thinks that Mr. Medo. Now, if we can avoid that acting aspect and move into something, or we can even do our own production, fine. The problem is they are not communicating well. The guy is here telling us how he feels, not how the woman feels.
Okay.
And so if you're expressing to us how you feel and not telling us, we probably have had an engagement with the lady and she's saying this and that, I'm sorry, we can probably not conclude here. We cannot conclude here to see that finally, Jano or Koso, try and take your time, sit with her. Na mummy mumbo ne dad because on this one you know. Utumi kukuru ni you know you can't take her out. Utumi yini film sa section china wado so premier jai movie acting no na me se be wadem na owia no waye dey. Ehun school si no koye. And also one human at that person way. Now she is telling you that and see to me na fa you be nyesika Sikan de krachinya you be di na woro no. And you know no. And then bam no. Then what do? Please engage, you know, with your lady. Sit with her. Talk and settle issues amicably. When you're deeper questions should be asked.
Right.
Now you said the Obani Bekanyina Thomas we are moving on.
Right.
Quitting is not an answer to what is happening. And so if he says that I think then he's a loser and he's not a man enough. Wow. The reason is that mentally he has made a decision that will satisfy his ego, his emotions, without considering the woman. And even if you marry, and this is how you make decisions as a man, then you are going to hurt the family. Wow. Because in marriage, we don't make decisions alone. You make decisions by consulting the other party. So that they will let you know how they also feel and what they think about whatever issue that you put on the table. So I will encourage my brother who wrote this very message to us. Please have deeper conversation with your lady. Ask deeper questions. Let her give you her version. On allow her to express herself. You can negotiate, you can understand each other, and come to a point where you think that you are comfortable, and you move on. Ujaro, Nakusha will be not also a sports person's way, and or your makeup artist's way. I mean, the
only problem or say in home, but
now Gosha will be so or secretary to the boss.
Now, make us say there's sexual predators everywhere. In every industry,
every space of life. If you say you are running away from this, thank you. But I have been watching movies. I know ladies are those days when they were single. Now your mom sing beer, almost actia. They were very sensual. Like at the end of the movie, suddenly almost warrior. You see them acting responsive. Thank you. Take meaning that they say wawari. She said you and kwala gorobi will move you ma. They say on to me ni kumpesa. But to me be before jiskana. What must I say? So I think that the gentleman, I'm begging him, he should have deeper conversation with the lady and not just conclude and say I'm working out. If you do that, you are not helping yourself, you are not helping the relationship, and you are also not helping the lady. Thank you.